he had everything to become the next king of football. At just 20 years old, Neymar was already being compared to legends like Pelé and Ronaldo Fenômeno, a one-of-a-kind talent capable of turning any match into a spectacle.
Neymar!
On his best days, facing him seemed downright impossible. But between moments of glory and a string of injuries and off-the-pitch controversies, Neymar's career has become an unpredictable roller coaster. Now, he faces one of the biggest challenges of his career: returning home. Is there still time for a triumphant comeback? Or will playing for Santos be his last breath before retirement? Few players in history have divided opinions quite like Neymar. Some see him as one of the greatest talents of all time, while others question whether he ever truly lived up to his potential. Neymar is, at once, a genius and a mystery, and his story remains one of the most complex chapters in the sport's history. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. was born in Mogi das Cruzes, São Paulo, in 1992. From a very young age, his talent with the ball was already clear. Growing up in a humble environment, Neymar saw football as a way to change not just his life, but that of his family. Under the guidance of his father, Neymar Sr., a former professional footballer, he began honing his skills on the streets and courts of his city, standing out for his speed, flair, and creativity with the ball. At just 17 years old, Neymar made his debut for Santos Futebol Clube, a legendary Brazilian team that had once produced icons like Pelé. His arrival came with sky-high expectations, but Neymar wasted no time proving he was more than just hype. In his first professional season, he scored 14 goals. A remarkable feat for someone so young. Over 5 seasons with Santos, Neymar scored more than 100 goals, cementing his status as one of the brightest talents in Brazilian football. In 2011, he made history by winning the Puskás Award for the year's most beautiful goal, thanks to a spectacular solo effort against Flamengo. This award didn't just put him on the global map, it began to shape his image as an emerging international star. It wasn't long before Europe's footballing giants came knocking.
I remember when I showed Santos in that moment, I showed some clips, 10 or 15 clips on action from Neymar, and I remember I told him, this is the king of Santos.
Real Madrid and Chelsea both made offers to sign him, but Neymar chose to stay at Santos. He believed he needed more time to mature in Brazil before taking on the challenges of European football, a decision that showcased his determination to build a strong foundation for his career. Neymar's crowning achievement with Santos came in 2011, when he led the team to victory in the Copa Libertadores, ending a nearly 5-decade drought since the Pelé era. He was the standout player, scoring crucial goals and delivering decisive performances in key matches. This triumph was a defining moment in his career, solidifying his status as the future of Brazilian football. But Neymar wasn't just another promising talent. He was the hope of a nation that saw in him the next big name in football. Expectations were sky high, and the world had its eyes on the young prodigy, who was about to take the next big step in his career. After years dazzling Brazil and capturing the world's attention, Neymar took the most anticipated step of his career, his transfer to Barcelona in 2013. The deal was worth $57 million, one of the biggest at the time, and he arrived at Camp Nou as the club's future star. Welcomed by more than 50,000 fans at the stadium, Neymar was introduced as the player who would eventually take center stage. Though for now, he would share the spotlight with Lionel Messi, the best player in the world at that time. Before his Barcelona debut, Neymar shone in the 2013 Confederations Cup, held in Brazil. That tournament was a pivotal moment in solidifying his status as a rising star. Neymar scored 4 goals throughout the competition, including a stunning strike in the final against then-world champions Spain. With flawless performances, he was named the tournament's best player, making it clear that Neymar had what it took to compete at the highest level of international football. His first season at Barcelona, however, wasn't as spectacular as many had hoped. Neymar scored just 9 goals in La Liga, a modest tally compared to the standards of Europe's top forwards. This initial phase was seen as a period of adaptation. He was learning to cope with a more physical and tactical style of play, while adjusting to the pressure of playing alongside superstars like Messi and Iniesta. Despite the slow start, Neymar's potential was undeniable. He showed glimpses of brilliance on the pitch, crafting incredible plays and scoring crucial goals in important moments. The expectation that he would eventually become a Ballon d'Or winner remained intact. Neymar was only beginning to tap into what he could offer European football, and Barcelona fans firmly believed that the best was yet to come. In 2014, the world's eyes turned to Brazil, the host nation of the FIFA World Cup. For the Brazilian national team, this was more than just a chance to win. It was an opportunity to reclaim their status as the greatest footballing powerhouse. At the center of this narrative was Neymar, the young prodigy who carried the hopes of a football-obsessed nation on his shoulders. Right from the start of the tournament, Neymar showed why he was considered the team's brightest star. In the opener against Croatia, he scored 2 goals and led Brazil to a 3-1 victory. He continued to shine in the following matches, especially against Cameroon, where he netted another 2 goals, finishing the group stage as Brazil's top scorer. In the round of 16, Brazil faced Chile in a dramatic clash that went to penalties. Under immense pressure, Neymar calmly converted his spot kick, helping the team advance. Up to that point, he seemed destined to be the tournament's hero. But Neymar's journey was cut short in heartbreaking fashion. In the quarterfinals against Colombia, a brutal challenge from Juan Zúñiga caused a serious injury to his back, fracturing his 3rd vertebra. Neymar was stretchered off the pitch, and it was soon confirmed that he would miss the remainder of the tournament. For many, that moment signaled the end of Brazil's hopes. The semi-final against Germany, without Neymar, became one of the most shocking defeats in football history. Brazil suffered a crushing 7-1 loss, leaving the world in disbelief. Without their talisman, the team looked lost, unable to match the intensity and quality of their opponents. What began as a fairy tale for Neymar ended as a nightmare. He had led the team with brilliant performances, but was forced to watch from the sidelines as Brazil endured their most humiliating World Cup defeat. For Neymar, that moment embodied the cruel nature of football, the fine line between glory and heartbreak. After the heartbreak of the 2014 World Cup, Neymar returned to Barcelona with a clear mission to prove to the world that he could become one of the greatest of all time, and that's exactly what he set out to do. With the arrival of Luis Suárez in the 2014-15 season, Neymar, Messi, and Suárez formed a legendary attacking trio known as MSN. Together, they redefined what it meant to dominate European football. That season, Barcelona achieved something extraordinary: the treble. They won La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Champions League, a feat reserved for only the greatest teams in history. Neymar played a pivotal role in this success, scoring 39 goals across all competitions. In the Champions League, he was one of the tournament's top scorers with 10 goals, including one in the final against Juventus, sealing Barcelona's 3-1 victory. The MSN trio was simply unstoppable, combining for an incredible 120 goals throughout the season, a record-breaking display of offensive power still remembered today. Despite all the success, there was an underlying dynamic at Barcelona that weighed heavily on Neymar. Lionel Messi's Messi's shadow. While Neymar had his moments of brilliance and delivered in crucial games, the spotlight almost always gravitated toward Messi. This became even more evident in 2017 during the epic Champions League comeback against PSG. Neymar was the star of the night, scoring 2 goals and providing 2 assists in Barcelona's historic 6-1 victory, overturning a 4-0 first-leg deficit. Yet, the next day's headlines focused on Messi, with photos of the Argentine celebrating the triumph splashed across newspapers worldwide. That was a defining moment for Neymar. He began to realize that as long as Messi was at Barcelona, he would never truly be the team's main player. No matter how well Neymar performed, the narrative always placed Messi at the center. This overshadowing of his achievements played a significant role in Neymar's decision to seek new challenges and leave Barcelona. The MSN trio was a machine of success, but for Neymar, the desire to step out of Messi's shadow and prove himself as the undisputed leader was becoming a priority. He was on the verge of making one of the most controversial decisions of his career, a choice that would completely alter the course of his journey in football. In 2017, Neymar made a decision that would forever change his career. He left Barcelona, where he had reached his peak alongside Messi and Suárez, in pursuit of something he deemed essential: becoming the undisputed protagonist. Paris Saint-Germain offered him that opportunity with an ambitious sporting project, paying an astounding $222 million, the biggest transfer fee in football history at the time. Neymar was now the most expensive player in the world, and the face of a team aspiring to dominate European football. League One seemed tailor-made for Neymar. In his first season, he showed why he was considered one of the best in the world. With 28 goals and 16 assists in just 30 matches, his impact was undeniable. Neymar didn't just outplay his opponents, he did it with flair, dazzling fans with his dribbles, spectacular goals, and unmatched creativity. He was, without a doubt, the league's biggest star. But while he reigned supreme in France, the real test was the Champions League. PSG had signed Neymar with one clear goal: to win Europe's most prestigious club tournament. However, that journey was cruelly interrupted. Neymar suffered a metatarsal injury that ruled him out of the competition's decisive moments, and PSG was eliminated without their star player. This marked the beginning of a series of injuries that would shape the narrative of his time at the club. As time went on, the challenges began to pile up. Neymar continued to deliver impressive stats when he was on the pitch, but his availability became increasingly limited. He missed crucial matches due to injuries, and PSG began to rely on another rising star, Kylian Mbappé. The young French forward quickly won over fans with his speed, skill, and consistency, stepping into the spotlight that was supposed to belong to Neymar. What started as an ambitious project to elevate Neymar to the pinnacle of world football turned into a constant battle against time, injuries, and emerging stars around him. While Neymar sought to solidify his legacy, the reality was that his status as PSG's undisputed face was being challenged, both by his physical struggles and by Mbappé's brilliance. The dream of being the best in the world seemed to drift further away with each passing season. 4 years after the heartbreak of 2014, Neymar entered the 2018 World Cup in Russia, once again carrying Brazil's hopes on his shoulders. Fully recovered from injuries and at the peak of his career with PSG, he was the team's biggest star and one of the most high-profile players in the tournament. For many, this was the perfect chance for Neymar to redeem himself and cement his place among the greatest players in football history. But what unfolded in Russia was far from what anyone expected. Neymar delivered a performance that fell short of expectations. scoring just 1 goal throughout the competition. While there were moments that showcased his undeniable skill, such as his goal against Mexico in the round of 16, he often appeared out of rhythm and disconnected. His lack of impact in the crucial matches raised doubts about his ability to lead Brazil on football's grandest stage. Adding to the disappointment, Neymar's reputation took a major hit due to his behavior on the pitch. He became the subject of global memes and jokes for his exaggerated dives and theatrics. With every dramatic fall, he moved further away from the hero Brazilian fans had hoped he would be. Brazil's campaign came to a bitter end in the quarterfinals with a defeat to Belgium. Neymar missed his chance for redemption, and his reputation took a severe blow. The player who was expected to be the star of the tournament instead became the target of criticism and disappointment, proving that in football, talent alone is not enough to achieve true greatness. In 2020, Neymar seemed to be on a path to redemption. After years of injuries, criticism, and early exits, he led PSG on a historic campaign to the Champions League final, the trophy the club desired most. During the tournament, Neymar was instrumental, showcasing the talent and determination many felt had been missing. His ability to decide matches shone through in crucial victories against Atalanta and RB Leipzig in the knockout stages. The final, against Bayern Munich, was Neymar's chance to reaffirm his place among the world's best players. However, despite his efforts, PSG fell to a 1-0 defeat. Neymar had a subdued performance, and his tears at the final whistle became one of the tournament's defining moments. While some saw his emotion as a sign of passion for the game, others criticized it as a sign of weakness, reinforcing the narrative that he struggled to shine in the most decisive moments. Despite the loss, that season showed a more mature, committed Neymar, ready to take responsibility for his team's success. It was a glimpse of what many had long hoped he could deliver on a consistent basis. However, the arrival of Lionel Messi at PSG in 2021 drastically changed the team's dynamics. With Messi joining Mbappé and Neymar, the Brazilian once again found himself in a secondary role, something he had tried to escape when he left Barcelona. While Neymar remained an important figure, Messi's presence reaffirmed that he wouldn't be the undisputed leader of PSG's project. What could have been a new era of greatness for Neymar turned into yet another period of uncertainty, where his individual brilliance was increasingly overshadowed. In 2023, Neymar made a decision that marked a drastic shift in his career. He left Europe's elite football scene to sign with Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia in a blockbuster transfer. The move promised a fresh start, but also raised questions. Was this a strategic step to revive his career, or simply a chance to enjoy the comforts of a lucrative contract? Just weeks after his arrival, Neymar's familiar struggles resurfaced. During a match for Al Hilal, he suffered a severe ACL and meniscus injury, effectively ending his season before it even began. For many, this injury was a devastating blow, symbolizing the decline of a career that had once promised so much but had been consistently hampered by setbacks. Debate surrounding Neymar's motivations intensified. Some saw his move to Saudi Arabia as a quest for relevance in a less competitive environment, while others believed he was merely enjoying the moment, prioritizing financial and personal comfort over sporting ambition. Now, Neymar has finally decided to return to his homeland and his beloved club, Santos. But doubts remain. Will he stay active on the field, delivering the same football he always has? Or will his physical condition push him into retirement for good, bringing an end to a career filled with both glory and frustration? Meanwhile, as Messi and Ronaldo continue to shine at different stages of their careers, Neymar appears increasingly distant from the level he once promised to reach. For many, he remains one of the most electrifying talents football has ever seen. But his journey now feels more like a story of what could have been, rather than what still could be. The future is uncertain. Does Neymar have the strength for one last great chapter, or has his best already been left behind?